The moment I became a Khaldun, I saw the Uyezd in a completely different light. There is no such place where a demon wouldn't hide. You just noticed? Your own chords are also a giant pain.
How did you manage your own chords?
Nothing to it, really. Just give them something to do. The only thing is, they can't manage every task well. Their job is to wreak havoc. They don't like any other sort.
Demons are the one turning the grindstones at the mill.
Well, the miller won't turn them, that's for sure.
Can't the wind spin them? Do you have to use demons everywhere? It's dangerous, and a sin to boot.
Well, what did you expect? It will soon be the 20th century. The demons might make it easier. If they can start making flour, who knows? Maybe we can teach them to reap, too. You've heard of steam engines, huh? I think there's a steam chart inside, like the one you can find in a samovar.
Vasya, what's that? What in the name are you doing? You can't pat me. I'm not your cat.
Can't bet you? Let me tame him with a good poker hit.
Wait, what poker? Are you mad, Gramps?
Maybe that will make you a better Susetko. I have to feed you for that out of my can heart. Yesterday, some bird flew in. I had to chase it off. Where were you then? Huh? Not a sign, you furry short.
Why, stop. Come on, you'll hate me, damn it. Be careful, Igor. All right, I get it. I will do a better job as a Susetka from now on.
That's better. Next time my hit will find its mark.
He's not the kind to spoil his children.
I know, right? So you can take any shape?
I can. I usually don't need it, though. Ordinary people see us as shadows, nothing more. The rest they imagine themselves.
What happened after you became a spirit?
Seems like I do remember. We Susetkas can see future quite well. The past we forget after a century or so. I was from Chut's tribe, I think.
You're one of the Chut? And you're cats!
There are spirits like that, called Chut. People lived here, a tribe like Komi-Pyrmins, a long time ago. So, I was one of them. There was my hut, at the same place where the church was built. Or a dugout it was. I remember exactly that I lived at the same spot. They must have buried me under the threshold, so I became a house spirit. And when Isba was gone and the church appeared, then I must have moved there. A lot of things happened. I will stir my memory a bit more about how I was Susetka in that Isba. Tell you later.
Let's go. We'll talk later.
God bless. Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa.
Why, isn't that groom with his bride?
So, you're keeping your word, Nikolai?
I told you I needed a bride, and with help from you and God, here we are.
The wedding is close. I see you've covered yourselves, as is tradition.
Yes, we needed to have this wedding as soon as possible, so that the Bonniks wouldn't drag me back. I understand you have a lot to think about. Vasya, weddings are the least of your worries, but if you can't do it, no one can. You were the matchmaker for me and Nikolai, so you should stand as matchmaker by my side at the wedding.
I have no time to give a dowry at a bachelorette party.
Right. The week has passed. The dowry appeared at my house, and what I lacked, the girls from my village helped out with.
The main thing is you being my matchmaker.
I can't. I have other business.
It's all right, Vasya. You can go. We have some time. And when the wedding passes, a solution to a problem might reveal itself.
You too, old Igor, come. You'll be our master of ceremonies.
What an honor. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, you taught Vasilisa and helped with the items for the bride.
That's right. Well, you see, Vasya, how can you say no?
Who did you ask to be your best man?
Petьka, the accordion player. He's an old friend of mine.
Fedьka? What curse can he help you with? How can we attend such a wedding, Grandpa?
Stop it, Vasya. Fedьka will manage. He's a jester, but he can. Besides, we'll be there. We'll help with the evil spirits and Khalduns.
All right. But Fedьka needs looking after, so he won't curse the wedding himself.
Thank you, Vasilisa. I brought a gift for you. I think you'll like it, and it should prove useful.
We didn't come only because of the invitation. We need a nowhere's help. My future mother-in-law hired brewers to make beer.
But they quit halfway through. They say demons chased them away. They're beside themselves with fear.
We decided not to approach these demons without you. Maybe it's Bandniks trying to interfere with the wedding.
You made a wise choice.
All right. I'll help you. After all, the ceremony is incomplete without beer. And you have your whole life ahead of you.
Well, come the day after tomorrow then, if I'm the master of ceremony.
See you soon. Lord be with you.
Greetings. God bless.
God bless. What brings you here, Your Honor? The stove flap is over there to your right.
Alexander looks around, perplexed.
Grandpa, he's not here about that. He doesn't know these things either. And the matchmakers come without a groom.
Hello, Vasilisa. I was in the area for business and decided to drop in. I mean, I think you'll also be interested in this case I have. They talk about you and your grandfather quite often. You remember the time at the station when I went to treat the girl? There's a similar case in the village near Pakcha. It's called Severnaya Settlement.
Well, I know something about herbalism. I may be of help. So, Severnaya Settlement? You start treating them with your methods. Perhaps I'll drop by.
Thank you. Till we meet again.
Hold on. Fancy some tea? Help me move the table first, would you?
Table? No time. My patients are waiting.
Alexander hurriedly leaves your izba. It's getting dark. You keep the black book ready. Khalduns often put their chorts by the roads, as you have already witnessed several times. Soon, you notice someone's burning eyes under the roots of an old fir tree. Among the treetops, you notice a silent giant. His figure towers over the trees and sheds a dark shadow on the frozen road. You enter the forest and walk towards the spirit, but soon hear laughter in the distance. A whirlwind of dust emerges from the darkness. It splits into a swarm of demons. You find the Izba Alexander told you about without any difficulties, and question the locals. As it turns out, the husband of the sick woman died recently. Your acquaintance is already here.
These are fish traps. Looks like her husband used to be a fisherman. The furniture, as well as the rest of the Izba, has fallen into disrepair. It's clear that the woman can't look after the house alone.
You open the chest and are hit with a foul stench. Inside lie everyday items of the woman and several linen sacks. It seems they are the source of the smell. Bed sheets and towels, nothing of interest. You wince in disgust. The sacks contain horse manure, wriggling with worms. These are the gifts of a demon. To cursed people, they seem like gold and prianics.
Let me be. I need to rest. The fever won't let me be.
They say you became a widow. Oh, Jesus Christ, may he rest in peace.
Yes, he died, but I'm managing.
Sometimes dead husbands come back from the afterlife. Have you heard of that?
What kind of story is that? That sort of thing never happens. Lord have mercy.
Don't try to be cunning with me. I've seen all kinds of charts, and I can sense the walking dead from a mile away.
Phew, witch! What could you know about me and my Vasya? You know nothing.
Maybe I'll be able to convince her if I pretend to be her acquaintance. So, what did her husband do? Perhaps he was a fisherman. Looks like it. What do you mean? I know you through my godfather. He used to go fishing with you, Vasily, quite often.
He won't be fishing any now. He's dead, I'll tell you. Go away. You and your groom, let me rest.
She still doesn't believe me. How can I convince her that everything's not so simple with her guest? You think your Vasily brings you sweets? Take a closer look.
Jesus! What have you done, witch?
I know who is to blame for your sickness. If you want to live, you must tell me.
All right, I'll tell you, but don't you tell anyone. My husband didn't die. He still visits me in the evenings. But he told me to keep quiet. People won't understand.
You hear the sound of scattering sparks. A fire chort, familiar to you, emerges from the stove, and it immediately turns into a human.
I sense sorcerer's power. You guessed it. Khaldun's.
Want to kill us? Go ahead and try.
Ha! Kill? I have another purpose. You stopped me here, but I'll find other creatures.
Not so fast. You can't hide from me in my Uyezd.
That may be so. That's why you will be busy with my new friends. I won't be back here.
A couple of chorts appear near him, while he himself turns into a fiery whirlwind and disappears into the chimney. You can catch up with that chort if you don't spend time on these demons. But what will happen to the sick woman? You open the book and read the first Zagavar. You defeated the Chorts, and the woman seems to be safe now. But how many souls will this fiery snake ruin? No one knows the answer to this question. You can only continue on your way. You notice the pale heads of the drowned, looking out of the water. They are almost certainly waiting for a careless victim to drag under. At the crossroads of two trade routes, you see the annual fair. Despite the late hour, trading is still taking place. Perhaps you might buy something for your journey. A multitude of goods can be found. Prianics, as well as a variety of magic trinkets. There's something for everyone here.
Buy an amulet and a trinket. Buy a potion and drink it. You'll be as healthy as a boar. Demons fleeing from your roar.
You hear the lingering sounds of songs long known to you. At one of the izbas, you see a late-running Vichorka. It may be worth stopping to listen for a while. You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song. Life goes on as usual in the sleepy Pakcha village. The peasants have returned from their work and fill the village with hearth fire glimmers shining from tall windows. The shop is still open. The peasants answer your questions with enthusiasm when they learn that you are the knower matchmaker they have heard of. According to the villagers of Pakcha, they seldom encounter wonders in their mundane life. Everyone laughs at the men who were brewing beer. Supposedly, they were so carried away with their work that they saw the devil himself. You whisper a prayer and catch your breath. You easily find the home of the peasants who brewed beer, but their izba looks empty. You look into the galbets and see a man who is putting crosses on vials and barrels. He jumps when you call out to him.
Christ almighty, what are you scaring me for? I nearly died.
I knocked, didn't you hear? I'm here about the wedding. They asked to bring beer.
We couldn't cook the beer to the end, you understand? The bride is a chort in disguise, everyone knows that. So some of them sharp-tailed visited us. We barely managed to escape. With God's help, I'll bless the ingredients. We managed to brew the mash, then added hops to the cauldron. Everything with God's words, everything proper. A pound of hops and a pound of malt. And then a demon showed up. Lord have mercy.
Tell me about the demon you saw.
Someone cursed us. That must be it. Looked like a lump of meat that kept glaring at us. So we ran. Left everything there. We prepared part of it, but we're too scared to go there now.
Did you brew by the river?
Right. Wait, you're going there now? This late? You'll be killed.
It's all right. I have God's word with me. The devil will have to retreat.
Well, God be with you. Go to the east of the last Izba. You won't miss it.
It's quiet in the brewing area. Too quiet. You anxiously look around. Evil spirits definitely had something to do with this.
Here's where the mash was cooked. There's some left at the bottom.
This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You can't light the fire. All the logs have burned, and there's no... Here is the firewood that the brewers prepared. You take some firewood.
Here are some barrels filled with beer that's already been brewed. I think that if I'm able to chase the evil spirits away, the brewers will be...
This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You add some firewood. Now you can light the... You can't light the fire. All the logs have burned, and there's no... You can't light the fire. This cauldron is full of partially brewed... This cauldron is full of partially brewed beer. You feel an evil force hiding beneath the black surface. You roll back your sleeve and thrust your hand into the cauldron. But after a moment, jerk it out with a scream. Something bit you.
Oh, it's so sweet. I can't carry these heavy barrels.
There's some dry grass around here. It can be used. You take some dry grass. This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You put some dry grass under the cauldron. Now it will be easier to light. Here is the firewood that the brewer... You take a greater amount of firewood. This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You add even more firewood. Now you light the fire and take a step back.